From his first appearance,
Buonasera.
the son of Italian immigrants struck a different tone.
He didn't have on all the bling, and his pectoral cross was very plain. I mean, he looked a lot like my dad.
What set him apart wasn't what he wore, but his words and actions. His papacy was marked by a series of international conflicts and crises from the beginning. As waves of migrants washed onto the shores of Europe, his first trip was to the small Italian island of Lampedusa to preach compassion.
He said that the church should be a field hospital. And if you think of a field hospital is in the middle of a war zone, and it's looking after those people who are suffering the most.
And in 2015, with illegal migration as a growing flashpoint in the US, he told Americans not to fear foreigners because
most of us were once foreigners.
And this February, Francis wrote a letter to Catholic bishops describing the mass deportations as a major crisis. He wasn't intimidated by Washington.
You know, there's this funny thing when you're man of the people, when you don't let your own status sort of get to you, then I think also you're not so intimidated by the status of others.
Yusuf.
That common touch was on display with the Pope's daily phone calls to a Catholic church in the Gaza Strip.
Grazie tante.
Even though it was just a telephone call and it didn't stop the bombing and it didn't bring people back to life or stop people getting hurt or killed, it was nevertheless this idea that someone out there knows what we're going through, somebody cares.
The day of his last appearance,
Buona Pasqua.
Francis released a message warning of growing anti-Semitism, but also thinking of the people of Gaza, describing the humanitarian situation as deplorable.
Ringraziamento del popolo ucraino.
Francis also prayed for peace in Ukraine, overcome with emotion during this speech in 2022.
Di la bandera bianca.
Although his comments in 2024 with a Swiss broadcaster, where he called for the courage of the white flag, disappointed some supporters.
The Catholics in the Ukraine found that they felt very conflicted about that. They didn't think that that phrase captured how much they're fighting for their survival.
Francis' focus on the poor and the disenfranchised came from his roots, but also difficult lessons he learned as a religious leader during the Argentinian dictatorship.
He grew up in a country where, especially in the years he grew up, there was sometimes, he would see a lot of poverty, there was sometimes political conflict, and it shaped him.
Into a life devoted to the service of others.